Hi, I'm Lars from All About Samsung, and today we're gonna have an unboxing of the brand new Samsung Galaxy Tab S3. The Tab S3 was announced on the MWC 2017 Barcelona, and of course it's the third generation of the Tab S series, which is kind of the high-end flagship series in the Samsung tablet portfolio. Below this there's the Tab A, and below this there's the Tab E. And now the Galaxy Tab S series gets the third generation, and surprisingly this time there's something new, because for the first time a device which isn't a Note device is capable of using the Samsung S Pen. And today we're gonna have an unboxing of the Tab S3 and see if the S Pen is included in the boxing and see which accessory is included in the boxing. Let's go. So here we got the boxing of the Galaxy Tab S3. On the front it's just pure black, but the writing is actually a little bit silver. So this is kind of a metal look. Samsung Galaxy Tab S3, and on top you can actually see the version we are going to unbox today, which has 9.7 inches, 32 GB of storage, and it's LTE enabled. So the 9.7 inches are of course the only size available, and 32 GB are the only size available as well here in Germany. So the only difference may be found in LTE or Wi-Fi version. On the left side there's nothing, on the right side there's nothing, on the bottom there's nothing, and on the top there's nothing found. So the only interesting thing is found on the back side of the boxing, and here you can see some specifications. On the back side you can see that the Samsung Galaxy Tab S3 is actually capable of doing LTE category 6, which is quite fast. You have a 9.7 inch QXGA S AMOLED screen with a resolution of 2048 to 1536 pixel, which is actually an aspect ratio of 4:3. You have a Snapdragon 820 with 2.15 GHz and 1.6 GHz, and you have 4 GB of memory, LPDDR4, which is quite fast. The main camera has 30 megapixel and an autofocus, and the front camera has 5 megapixel. Interestingly, for the first time there are quad speakers found on the Galaxy Tab S series, and they're tuned by AKG, which means they should normally deliver quite a nice sound. The battery has 6000 mAh, and there is AFC charging, which means adaptive fast charging, and the S Pen is included in the boxing. And here we got the 32 GB memory version, as there is no other version in Germany, and of course the size actually depends on the number of apps pre-installed and stuff like this. So this for the boxing, and now we're going to do an unboxing. Opening the box of the Galaxy Tab S3, you're gonna see first the device itself, but found in a little sleeve. I'm going to lay this on the left side. I'm gonna have a closer look on the Galaxy Tab S3 later. First we're going to see which accessory is included, and there is a quick start guide of course, and on the back side you can see actually a little metal tool for the SIM card and the micro SD card tray. And there is another tool, and this tool is used to actually change the tip of the S Pen. This is the S Pen coming in the boxing of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S3, and with this little tool you can actually exchange the tip of the S Pen, because the tip of the S Pen is quite small. It's just 0.7 millimeter thin, and there are different styles of the tips. You have actually the choice between plastic or rubber to see which maybe fits better your type of writing or whatever. So you can actually change this little tip and maybe use the plastic gray tip instead. The next thing found in the boxing is the charging cable, which is here, which is white, and USB Type-C. Of course, because the Galaxy Tab S3 features USB Type-C, it's white and it's quite a long cable, even though for me a cable couldn't be long enough for a tablet. When charging I need quite a lot of space. And there is the normal adaptive fast charging adapter in the color white, and this is everything included in the boxing of the Galaxy Tab S3. So enough for the boxing, now we're gonna have a closer look on the Galaxy Tab S3 itself. And it's found in a little sleeve, so we have to open it up, and there is some glue or something, so this is quite a cheap sleeve, so you can actually use it maybe 3 times and then you have to get a real one. And then you have the Galaxy Tab S3 outside of its sleeve, and here you see it for the first time. Once the Tab S3 is unboxed, you're probably going to notice that it's a very light tablet. In fact, it's just 429 grams, which makes it very light. And it's quite thin, because the frame just measures about 6 millimeters, and this combined with the weight of about 429 grams makes it very thin and light tablet for its size of 9.7 inches. The rest of the design on the front is quite well known, because you have the Samsung logo on top of the display, and on the bottom you have the home button, the multitasking button and the back button. In fact, the home button now features the same fingerprint scanner as found in the Galaxy S7. And this is everything about the front. The backside is more spectacular, because on the backside there is now glass found as found on the front, and this is a first for a Samsung tablet. On the backside you have a 13 megapixel camera with an aperture of 1.9. Below this you have the camera LED and you have the Samsung logo below the glass surface. And there is a new writing on the backside of the Tab S3, tuned by AKG, which is a well-known manufacturer for headphones as an example. So this should probably deliver quite a good sound quality, and you can actually see this, because when you take a look on the right side of the frame, you're going to notice that the frame is made out of metal. And there's some holes in it. Actually, these are microphones, and there is a little hole for the SIM card and micro SD card tray. You have to pinch in the tool coming in the box in the little hole, and then the SIM card tray will open up, and you can actually put in a SIM card, a nano SIM card and a micro SD card. It's quite simple, and there is the volume button and the power button. The more interesting part of the design is actually the top and the bottom of the frame, because there are now two speakers found on top of the device and two other speakers found on the bottom side of the device. This means that you now have 4 speakers tuned by AKG, and this should deliver quite a good sound quality. We are going to check this in the full review. On the bottom there is also a USB Type-C interface and a 3.5mm jack. And on the left side there are just some Pogo pin connectors for the keyboard dock available. All in all, for me, the design of the Galaxy Tab S3 is very premium actually, because you have glass on the front, you have glass on the back, and you have a very thin metal frame. And this makes the Galaxy Tab S3 for me the most premium tablet ever designed by Samsung. So now we are going to do a quick setup of the Galaxy Tab S3 and check out how the S Pen works on the new tablet. So first we have to switch on the device on the power button, and then you're going to see Galaxy Tab S3 powered by Android. This is what Google demands to be sure that people make a difference between Samsung and Google Android. So the first boot actually takes a while, of course, because all this stuff has to be set up, and then you're going to see the Samsung boot logo and then Android boots for the first time. On the first screen you can choose the language, and we're going to choose English for United States or United Kingdom anyway, and then you have to start the device for the first time. You can set up the Wi-Fi now. We are going to skip this, and then you have to agree to some terms and conditions. Actually, you don't have to agree to all terms and conditions, so you don't have to send diagnostic data or marketing information. So we just check the end user license agreement, and this is it. And then you can choose if you want to have the Google services enabled or not. And then it takes a while. Then you can set up your name, and you can protect your tablet by setting up a fingerprint scanner. And this is what we're going to do right now. So first you have to draw a pattern or choose a pin, and we're doing our standard pattern, and then you have to draw it again. And after this you can actually get ready to add the fingerprint, and this is the same procedure as on the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. So you have to lay down the thumb multiple times on the fingerprint scanner in different positions to make sure the accuracy is okay. And after it hits the 80%, you actually have to turn the tablet slightly, and then you can scan it another couple of times. And when it hits 100%, it's done, and the tablet is, well, fingerprint scanner enabled. Then you can choose if you want to show the content on the lock screen when it's not unlocked, and we're going to choose this. and then you have to set up or log into your Samsung account, or you can skip this. And then there's other stuff like the secure folder or the other screen layout, but we won't do this now. And you can actually enable or disable the weather forecasts. We're going to let this enabled without being connected to the internet. I'm going to set this up later. And then we are on the home screen. On the home screen, everything is smooth and fluid. So you see everything works fine. And when you switch to the left, you're going to see Flipboard briefing. And on the home screen, you see a lot of icons. So this is not yet the Samsung Experience UI found on the Galaxy S8. So this is more like the Grace UI as found on the Galaxy Note 7. And you can see this by dragging down the notification bar, as it's a very bright and very light white notification bar, and there is the secure folder in it, and yeah, the rest is more or less the same as found on the Galaxy Tab S2. So you have a bit of a new design for the icons, but the rest is basically the same. You have the app drawer, and in the app drawer you can go to the settings and to the about device menu to see the software information in the Android version, which is Android 7.0 Nougat, which is not the latest iteration of Android, but still it's quite a new one, so I'd say it's okay. And then there's just one thing I would like to show you now. The rest is for the full review, but here I would like to show you Samsung Notes, because for the first time you now have an S Pen you can use on a tab without the note in its name. So when you hover the S Pen right over the display, you see some information. This is the arrow command stuff. So you hit next and OK, and then there's a special icon just for arrow commands with the S Pen. And you can actually tap on this icon and you see several commands, and now you can create a note. So you can actually draw with the S Pen. And you can see it's very precise, and you can actually choose different type of pencils and brushes and stuff like this. And you have kind of a handwriting by choosing the calligraphy pen. And I'm going to choose it in the color black, and here you can see it's very precise, and there are thinner parts of the writing and thicker parts, so you can actually make more or less a digital kind of handwriting on the display of the Galaxy Tab S3. The other air commands are actually the view all notes, so you can see all your notes, and the Smart Select. This was found on the Note 7 and on previous Note devices as well, so you can actually draw a rectangle over a part of the display, and you can extract all the text on this special part, so you don't have to copy it by your hands, so you just can extract the text and maybe copy it into WhatsApp or whatever. And the other commands are the screen write, so you're doing a screenshot and you can instantly draw on the screenshot and send it maybe via email or stuff like this. And then you have the translate option, and you can add other shortcuts like all apps found on the Tab S3 to the hover menu for the S Pen. So this was our unboxing and first setup of the Galaxy Tab S3. Normally I prefer using a smartphone or a desktop PC over using a tablet. Even though when it comes to using a tablet, I prefer normally the size of maybe 8 inches because it's very light and portable. Now the Galaxy Tab S3 comes to the market, and I found it's a very thin and light tablet. Actually, for the first time I consider using a 9.7-inch tablet because it's so thin and light. And because of the materials, glass on the front, glass on the back and a metal frame, it's kind of a premium tablet I personally really do like. And for the first time it's possible to use the S Pen on a normal tablet by Samsung. So whenever it comes to productivity and you want to draw on your tablet, it's possible now. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions regarding the Galaxy Tab S3, just leave a comment. I'm going to do a full review of the Galaxy Tab S3 in the next weeks, so be sure to follow us here on YouTube. If the English wasn't too bad, maybe give this video a thumbs up. I'm Lars from All About Samsung. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.